Tintin XL 92.5 FM.
All right, a Friday installment of the program brought to you by our friends at Big T, Frangie, Carline, and La Selva. The new drug today is, how about the Pacers?
Unbelievable.
I mean, regardless of what happens now, that's a tough-ass team, man. You know that?
How many games have they won as the underdog in this tournament?
And
I mean, obviously, every game they've won in this series, they've been the underdog.
Right, 6.5-point home dog last night.
But I bet you they've won double-digit games as the underdog in the NBA playoffs this year.
I bet you're right. And I will tell you this. I thought last night, and again, me could care less who wins. Yeah, I mean, I honestly can tell you
I really don't care.
I truly don't.
I now would like to kind of see Indiana win because
I think I would too.
They've been suffering longer,
and now it's a really good story if they do.
Yeah.
So I kind of would too. But really,
last night I just thought it was an assumption that Oklahoma City would win.
But I will tell you this: all the sports cliches, wrap them all into like one big bow. Toughness and intestinal fortitude and refuse to die, and we could go all day long. It's Rocky, it's Hoosiers, it's all of them all in there together. That team, we all wrote them. It was everybody in the world wrote them off. Some guy in Peking wrote them off. Okay, another guy in Peoria wrote them off, and they beat their ass last night.
Oh yeah,
I mean last night from the minute that thing started, they walloped freaking Oklahoma City.
The score was not indicative of. It was a 30-point game going to the fourth quarter.
Correct, and I mean they were blowing them out in the first quarter.
Yes,
it was a really. I thought to myself, that's a team. If I was my team, that's a team I would be proud of. And they might win the damn thing. By the way,
I hope they do.
It's anybody's JJ. It's anybody's game now, bro. Right? I mean, we're down to one, and they got a little momentum.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked by anything at this. This is the craziest playoff run in basketball I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like just going back to the first round, like Hayes said, they've had to win as underdogs pretty much every series. I mean, the Knicks, they probably were underdogs in that. They had to play Cleveland, the number one team in the East. They beat them. They had to play Giannis. They beat them. It's inconceivable. Like I did not see this coming at all. And then when the series happened, you're like, well, the East sucks so bad. I mean, of course, the best team in the West, the best team in the NBA is going to wipe the floor with them. They win game one, and you're like, okay, well, they stole that from them, obviously. And then it's just, we're in a game seven. Anything can happen. The first game seven in almost 10 years. I'm really shocked. I've never been shocked by more than anything in NBA like this. This is crazy.
I didn't even notice you just said that. It's first NBA game 7 in like
2016.
I'll be damned. I didn't realize that. But I will tell you again. I was really impressed with their toughness and I mean I just was. I'm still not sure why they're good.
Yeah.
I'm still not sure. It's not like there's some great player out there dominating games.
They know their roles.
Yeah.
And they shut their mouth.
And he's a great coach, by the way. Rick Carlisle is a great coach. I mean, he is a great coach.
And he's like we talked about. Other than that one game where it seemed like he didn't really have a good pulse of it. For the most part, he's figured out what combinations work well, and the Thunder have had trouble adjusting.
And he tries everything.
Yeah.
It's sort of like the antithesis of the Thunder, which you sort of know who you're going to get. They're like
that's right.
7 or 8. I mean, Indiana, you're just like, oh, McConnell's out there in the first quarter early now, and he was dominant last night, and it's just like Obi Toppin, and some nights he doesn't. And, we had Mathurin in, what was that, game 3 or 4, where he goes off for 27, and then we haven't seen him. He's got a lot of cards, and he plays them all, man.
Siakam's been really consistent.
Yeah.
Siakam has scored 64 points in the last 3 games.
Yeah, if they win, I would expect him to be the MVP.
I would, too. And by the way, Obi Toppin's out there making threes like he's Rick freaking Barry.
Yeah.
What? I mean, what's he doing?
It's incredible. I mean, they get 1 or 2 guys every game off their bench that just have an incredible night.
I will say this. It has captured me it is beyond our loser Monday. We Hayes, JJ probably watches anyway. Hayes and I watch the finals because we're loser Monday.
Correct.
That's why we watch.
That's certainly why I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah, same here.
Otherwise, it would feel a little bit like an obligation to watch.
Correct. But now it's kind of reeled me in.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I can't wait for obviously. I mean, if you can't get excited for a Game 7, then
and I mean So this is so tip of the cap, man. They've played well, and they're a good team, man. They're a fun team to watch.
And I'm glad for Halliburton that
I am too.
He
looked
played
good,
through
too.
it, looked good,
hit threes,
didn't look hurt at all.
Scored 14,
Didn't look hurt at all, did he?
No,
Didn't look hurt at all.
You could tell he wasn't handling the ball as much. But besides that, I mean, he when he got the ball, he just shot threes. There was no maybe early in basically most of the series, he's been not the shooting guy. I'm going to facilitate, but he was ready to jack him up last night. Yeah. I'm super pumped for Sunday.
Yeah. Now, as for loser Monday, JJ.
Yeah, how did it go?
You're close now. You're only 109 out of second place. So here's what happens. Okay, it's just you versus me. Hayes is ahead of us. So if I did the math. If all three of your guys score 37 each and my guys don't play, you'll lose by one.
So I need 38 at least by one guy.
That's what you need. So
Lou Dort, I need you.
I know you got
3 points last night.
Oh, goodness. So anyway, there we are.
Well, what's your predictions?
You know what? Well, number one, listen to mine because I've been so right in this series.
Yeah, same with me.
I'm a good guy to trust. I still think Oklahoma City's going to win.
I do too.
It's back home, and they're mad about how they played. They're mad about how they looked. I still think they will win.
If they lose, is this? We talked about choke jobs with Arkansas baseball.
Gosh,
if they lose at home in Game 7 and didn't even show up for Game 6, I mean that's
after having the best record in the league.
Yeah, that's a massive choke job. I think.
I guess. I'd feel more choke. When I think of choke, I think you're up 3 games to none or 3 games to 1, and that never happened. But I hear you. There's different ways to choke. There's different ways to choke. My theory has always been teams that win Game 6 win championships. Because if it's the team that was ahead, the series is over. And if it's the team that was behind, they've got all the momentum and the pressures on the other team. You've heard me say that a bunch. I've always thought if it's 3 games to 2, whoever wins the next game is going to win the series. Even if it's the team that was ahead, it's over. If it's the team that was behind, they've got momentum and the other team is now nervous. But I don't know that I feel that way.
I believe that in baseball more because it's only 4 teams in the history of the NBA Finals have won a Game 7 on the road. 4.
Wow. That's hard to believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's,
when was the
last one actually was the Cavaliers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In the last Game 7.
All right. So we'll talk more about that as we go.
Did that ever happen? Who were the other 3? Was it ever like a Bird year or a Magic year?
Yeah. I think it was a 70s.
I don't think it would have ever happened with Jordan because I don't think any of theirs.
No.
I think the Bulls never got pushed
to 7.
Right.
Even that shot against the Utah
that was in Game 6.
That's right. That's right. That's right. The shot against Utah was Game 6.
I don't remember. Did Jordan ever get pushed to a Game 7? Once they won their first, he did get pushed, I think, to Game 7s before they won their first title.
But
once they won the first title, boy, it semed like almost every one they won in 5 or 6
I don't know that he didn't, but it does seem that way, doesn't it? Yeah. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Hey, I do want to say this. A lot of what the Jaguars have done is a model. They follow the Rams model, we've even seen that they follow the Rams model. They didn't bring in the interviews because the Rams did it. They may not be who knows if they'll keep going to combines. So I've thought that's a good model. Well, the Rams just had a mini camp in Maui.
Yeah. Let's follow that
I think
model.
you got to follow the model.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to tell James Gladstone and Liam next to Tony Baselli next time I see him. I think you got to follow the model.
Got to follow that model.
I think next year's mini camp I'd be disappointed if it's not in Maui. What I would do is I would rather than 3 straight days, I'd have like 4 days in between all of them. That's what I would do.
Yeah,
you
that
need
makes
rest.
Sense. Well, soft tissue injuries that time of year.
You got to stay away from that.
Are so crippling.
So that's my recommendation.
Yeah. How about this? While the Stadium of the Future is being constructed, why don't we just move everything to Maui for 2 years?
That's what I would do.
Yeah. Everything.
Look, I like Gainesville and Orlando.
There's got to be a stadium of some kind in Maui.
I think Gainesville and Orlando are nice cities. But was Maui unavailable?
Yeah.
That's my question.
I don't know what happened there.
And I will say,
not too late. Maybe
it's not too late.
We'll get a 5 o'clock news dump.
Yeah, I love the Friday news dump. So there's that stuff. All right, a lot of things to talk about today on the program. I want to get to obviously JJ's team. We now know they've been cheating because Wisconsin's suing their ass. How about that, JJ? Wisconsin's suing your ass.
It's sort of been coming for months since this happened. Like, so the story is there's this cornerback or whatever he is.
Yeah, he's a corner.
And he tried to enter the portal. Wisconsin didn't let him, or
I think the portal had closed.
No, well, they were trying to make it so the portal would close before they let him out. Like,
okay.
So Miami, well, the portal was open, but he was still, I guess he announced he was in it. But Wisconsin, I don't know the specifics, wouldn't allow it or
Xavier
something like
Lucas
that.
is the player's name.
And so Miami was contacting him while he was still on the roster of Wisconsin. So now they're suing Miami for tampering.
Well, and what I've done is I've pulled up the NCAA rule book and to see what the rule is, and it's the death penalty. Okay,
yes. So, we'll be on the cover of Sports Illustrated in no time.
So just so you know, I don't know if you've seen that. I don't know if you you don't usually go through the rule book like that.
I don't.
Yeah, and so I went to
I'm not a stickler, but it's good that you've got that on.
Now we know what it is. Yeah. So there's that.
By the way, it's completely ridiculous that Wisconsin is suing Miami over this. In my opinion, I mean, it's just so ridiculous.
Well,
what do you expect to get out of it?
Well, and not just that. We'll talk about it later.
He's not coming back.
Yeah, right. Correct. My thought about this is I don't really care about Wisconsin. And with all due respect to my friends JJ LaSelva, Gino Toretta, and Joe Zagacki, I don't care all that much about Miami. But I do wonder if some sort of a precedent starts.
Right.
Do we start seeing this?
Because everybody's doing it.
Well,
that's the thing. To me, it would be like the equivalent of getting arrested for jaywalking.
Yeah.
Well, everyone jaywalks. You know what I mean? Like,
right. That's right.
Everyone.
Yeah.
And so it just, I don't know. I don't know what Wisconsin hopes to get out of it other than looking like a bunch of losers.
Yes.
They already do. Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Maybe it's their way of being like, hey, we're going to take a stand for the rest of college football because this is where it has to end type thing. But yeah, everybody. I mean, Miami's we just had a wide receiver that magically the day the portal opens, he's at Alabama. Like, how do you think that happens?
Well,
guys?
right. There's players all the time that enter the portal and put do not contact.
Right.
Why do you think they have that there?
Right.
It's because they already know where they're going.
Right. So you're right. So, hey, let's take a break. A lot of things we'll talk about. In light of, and certainly as a tip of the cap to this Pacers team, I want to talk about the Rockies of the pro sports world, who've kind of come out of nowhere in college world. Who do you find yourself rooting for that you didn't care about before? We'll certainly get to that coming up in the program as well. Got to get into this Shedeur Sanders thing. I got a big question about that I'll get to later on. That's certainly in the news as well. Anthony Richardson is the rapper. I did not know that. Did you know that? GVO?
I didn't know that,
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're the Indianapolis Colts, you've just got to be. You've got to be crying at how poorly this has gone.
We'll talk about that coming up. I got a beanball thought or two about baseball. Got a lot of stuff to do. Glad you're with us on a Friday. Do want to thank our friends from Big Chief Tire Company. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
He's your knight in sporting armor.
I wish to appoint a new sheriff of Rottingham. My friend,
Ryan the Hacker Green.
Didn't get dressed up for nothing.
Giving you another reason to listen longer. After Rick Ballou, evenings on 1010XL.
Hi, it's Frank Frangie. Look, when it comes to glass, there's one name I trust, and that's Lee & Case Glass. Mirrors, custom showers, tabletops, even foggy glass windows, they handle all that. And they've been doing it right since long before I ever picked up a mic. Local, family-owned, and part of this community, just like we are. They've taken great care of me, including our brand-new walk-off offices. Guys, they did a great job, and I promise they'll do the same for you. Lee & Case, it's the clear choice. Check them out at leeandcaseglass.com.
It's the event everyone waits for. Now at Beard's Diamonds. Buy one, get one free on all wedding bands. Now for a limited time, when you buy his wedding band, get hers free. Buy hers, get his free. Save up to $10,000. Are you about to get married or been married for years thinking it's time for an upgrade? There's nothing that symbolizes your love more than the wedding band. Beard's has hundreds and hundreds of bands from top designers in white gold, yellow gold, rose gold, titanium, platinum, plain bands, channel set bands, pave set, eternity bands. And for men, masculine bands, wide, modern, with and without diamonds, hammered, brushed, engraved, lots of colors. Come to Beards now and find the wedding band that reflects your style and your personality. Buy one, get the second one free. The big box corporate jewelry stores can't or won't do this, but Beards can. And it's happening now through June 23rd. Buy one wedding band, get the second one free. Don't miss this opportunity to celebrate your eternal love with the eternal symbol, Beards Diamonds, at St. John's Town Center.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Update. It's been an active few months of in-store signings at Showtime, and our next one will be with Jags corner Jarian Jones on Tuesday, July 15th. The FSU alum will be signing from 5 to 7 p.m. on July 15th at Showtime. Sports Cards and Collectibles. Update your collection.
I've been having knee problems for probably 6 months, and my knee was getting worse, and I had heard about Southeast Orthopedics on the radio, and I gave them a call. They got me right in. Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. It was painless, and it's been doing fantastic. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Florida heat hitting like a heavyweight? Time to call in the champ. KO Electric and HVAC. We knock out the heat and power up your comfort. Fast, reliable, and undefeated in home service. KOElectricJacks.com. KOElectricJacks.com.
I'm Hammer and Hayes Carline, and I've been known to drop an opinion like a 2-ton hammer. Weekdays on The Frangie Show.
Hammer Time with Hayes on 1010XL. Driven by Kia on Atlantic. Check us out at KiaOnAtlantic.com.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
Jacksonville, Florida. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. CordellCordell.com.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
There's certain places you know if you go in, they got what you're looking for, like Gate Convenience Stores and Cold Modelo's. That's the ticket. Or get on the craft side of things with something from Bolt City or Sweetwater. Hit the cooler at Gate, full of choices and all of them good.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. What's better than beer? Cold beer. Put your company logo on a custom koozie. Check them out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron. Totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens. Also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
Want your son or daughter to enjoy sports year-round? Then log on to i9sports.com with summer and fall registration open right now, including girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows, plus plenty of other spots and sports on the First Coast. i9sports.com. Enter 1010 for a discount.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now back to a Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. Big Chief Tire. Visit BigChiefService.com.
Man, 1 week from today, we're going to be live at that brand new Big Chief in Mandarin. What a great company. You take your car there, I take my car there. The Parmans do such a wonderful job. Great folks.
Wonderful people.
They really, really are. And they're expanding that operation. So the 6th location in town will be in Mandarin. It opened this week, so you've probably already been in there. It opened this past Monday. And on Friday, we'll be there going live, and there'll be giveaways and all kind of fun stuff. And I can't wait to really like my friends from Big Chief Tire. Big Chief Tire, always a sponsor on a Friday, always a Big Chief Tire Friday around here. Frangie, Carline, La Selva with you. I have just been really taken by this Pacers team last night. I think there's a toughness to you when people don't think there is. There JJ, this won't resonate with you because it was the year you were born, but the Cincinnati Reds were prohibitive underdogs against the A's. You remember this?
Oh yeah, it's a great example.
And they swept them. That might be the team that nobody gave a chance to. And they said, screw that.
They swept them.
They swept them.
Wow.
The A's.
And all the experts thought the A's would either sweep them or win in 5.
They were by far the best team in baseball, and the Reds swept them. And so, that one came to mind for me. I'm trying to think.
Coughlin's Giants.
Coughlin's Giants are a great example. They're a great example of that. That's another team that in the pro realm that absolutely you didn't give much of a chance to. And again, Eli Manning's a very good quarterback, probably better than he got credit for being. But the truth of the matter was, he was always a guy looked at on that same plane as Phillip Rivers and Roethlisberger, never on the plane of his brother and Brady. You know that he was
Breeze.
Or Breeze, right? That's right. He was always on that plane, and they found a way to win. So that's a great example. They really are the Butler Gonzaga of pro basketball, and I'm trying to think. I mean, they're Hoosiers in Major League. They're. I mean, what a story it would be if they won. And those are the teams that that resonate with me when I think of what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, they're so resilient. They've had so many great comebacks. Last night, they didn't need that. They just basically gutted Oklahoma City from the tip. And so, yeah, you have to appreciate and respect what the Pacers have done. I would imagine that even if, obviously, Pacers fans will be upset or disappointed if they lose Sunday night, but I can't imagine that this team will be remembered for anything except the euphoria that it's brought to that market with this improbable run to being one win away from the world title. And so that says a lot. You're not in this day and age in sports, you're not often in a situation where if you lose the championship, you will still be fondly remembered. The Indiana Pacers, I have to think, will be.
Great point.
And so yeah, you just don't see it very often. It's just how it is in the world. So it's hard to have many examples like this spring to mind because of the improbability of it.
Yeah, it's NC State a little bit. NC State comes to mind.
Yeah, Villanova beating Georgetown.
Yeah, you came up with a good one. On the pro sports realm, it's the Giants and the helmet catch. I think it's probably that as much as it is. If you go all the way back, it's as far as just big upsets, it's the Namath Jets.
Yeah, I mean, the Patriots beating the greatest show on turf was a huge upset. At the time,
yeah, it was.
Because that was before the Patriots had really established themselves as a dynasty.
And it's not, I don't want to misrepresent this. It's not an iconic upset story that'll live forever. It's not the Amazing Mets or the Miracle on Ice. It's not that. Those will live for. This is just a basketball team from the Midwest playing a basketball team from the sort of Southwest that in a series that not all that many people are paying attention to. This isn't the Olympics. This isn't the World. This isn't a New York team in the World Series. I want to be careful. I don't misrepresent that. It's not. It's a basketball series that will not get. It's a basketball series that will not get great ratings. It will not be greatly memorable for the players who are in it. There's not a lot of guys headed to Springfield that are in this thing. But just the grittiness and the guttiness. And I'm like you. Now I hope they finish the story. Now you hope they finish the story. Boy, has the narrative changed too. The narrative is this Oklahoma City team a team for the ages? Well, now I think even if they win, we don't talk about that.
Definitely not.
Now even if they win,
they blew that last night, in my opinion.
Correct.
I mean, you can't no show in Game 6 and even if they end up winning Game 7, to me, they'll be one of the most forgettable champions that we've had in the NBA in 20 years.
Unless they do it again.
Well, sure, but
that's
I
right.
agree, though.
Yeah, but you can't blow an opportunity like they did last night, and then and then be regarded as one of the best champions in recent years.
So let me ask you this, JJ, because this has been in my mind too. We spent so much time thinking about the future, the next step, who's the next team, which team can continue this, can Oklahoma City keep it going when Denver couldn't, and on. We've talked about that enough times. What is the future? Who's great? What team is going to be?
I would say the Spurs.
Is it because of Wemby?
Yeah, I think that he's just going to be a freak of nature, and everyone's going to want to play with him. And it is the Spurs. They have a culture of winning there, even though Pop's not going to be there anymore. I think they're the next one.
Yeah,
and of course the Lakers are always going to be there.
Well, I wonder. Will the Lakers? I thought about. Will the Lakers be any good? Even though Luka's fantastic. They got beat pretty easily by the T-Wolves
They
here.
did.
Yeah, pretty easily.
I just think they're gonna build a better team. This year was like, we just have to get Luka in this trade. I know we don't have a center, and it really exposed them in the playoffs, but they just had to do whatever with the roster to get Luka. But I think they'll be better.
Will there be is there a Knicks, a T-Wolves? Is there a young team?
The Magic.
And will the Magic be? And is this the right time for the Magic to be that because there's not another one, right?
In the East, no.
Yeah.
I don't think it could be set up any better for the Magic from what you hear from the experts that really follow it. I mean, they've got a nice young nucleus of talent. You then go and add a sharpshooter in Bane, where that was by far your weakest area of your squad, and you're in the weaker conference. So the Magic are young. The Magic have added. They should be much better than they were last season. So maybe it's Orlando.
You know what I wonder too, JJ? I wonder if, and I don't know this because I don't follow it closely enough. With the one thing between Banchero and Wagner and Suggs, they've all had their assortment of injuries, and the teams that are really, the NBA's a long year, man. And the teams that are good, the Celtics are good when Horford's still playing well, and Derek White starts to emerge as a really good player, and they pick up Drew Holiday from the Bucks. You know what I mean? It's kind of the supplementary pieces.
Yeah.
Do the Magic have those? I wouldn't even know.
Yeah, they're not very deep. And like you said, they got killed with injuries last year. And when Franz came back, he wasn't great. They expected him to take a huge step this season.
Right.
And he almost took a step back. So, yeah, they do need to add a lot. And, win one playoff series, and then I'll start talking about the Magic.
Yeah.
But, they are built to win in the East now because it is the East, like Hayes said. But I need to see it to believe it with them. Now, to me, there's still 3 or 4 teams in the East that I like better than them next year.
I keep waiting, and I think America does, for what's the next thing in the NBA. Now, I mean, Steph Curry, that doesn't mean the Warriors won't win some games of significance down the stretch, but he's on the other side. LeBron's been on the other side. There's not as many names there.
KD's going to get traded. Who knows where?
Who knows where KD's going to play? And that doesn't mean that Edwards and Brunson and some of these obviously SGA these young players aren't really good players. They are good players, but no one's jumped and seized it. I thought Giannis would for a while there. I thought okay, that year nobody could defend him, right? Nobody could defend him. Nobody could defend Jokic, But so I kept waiting for one guy or one team or one group, and that's why everybody talked about the Thunder this year because they were so dominant. And if Jalen Williams, your son, really does become the Pippen to Gilgeous Alexander's Jordan, then maybe. But now I don't feel that.
I don't either.
I don't feel that anymore. So it'll be.
I still think Jokic is by far the best player in the league.
Yeah.
Right.
But if we're talking about the next thing, it's got to be Wemby for me.
Yeah, I would agree.
I just can't wait to see what his career becomes. And people love Cooper Flagg. I can't say anything because I literally watch 0 college basketball, but people love Cooper Flagg.
He's a good player.
He's
sure. He'll be good.
Big prospect.
I don't know that he'll be amazing, but he'll be the floor is he'll be a good NBA player.
Yeah, I think he will be a good NBA player. I really do.
He'll be playing with AD right next to him. Kyrie's still there. Like they could make some noise in the next couple of years.
They could. He'll be a very good player. He'll be a very good player in Dallas. But I don't know that I feel like we're headed. I don't know if he's going to be great.
Superstar guy.
I don't know that I don't know that. I mean, well, even if he's one of the stars of the league, like Jokic and Luka and Giannis, I don't know that I think he's going to be a generational star.
Right.
I don't. Do you think that? I don't. I see.
I don't think it. I mean, I can't discount it.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I don't think he's going to be like the face of the NBA.
Those guys
for a
aren't
decade.
that. They're right. I don't know that. Correct. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. But anyway, I will tell you this on the weekend. I can't wait to watch Game 7. They've lured me in. They've reeled me in. And thank you for that, by the way, for doing that. I appreciate it. We got a lot more to talk about. I want to talk about beanballs a little bit, and I want to talk about NFL quarterbacks this next. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
In your car or out of your car.
Get me out of this car.
Take 1010XL with you wherever you go.
We're online and ready.
By downloading our free 1010XL app. Available for all smartphones and tablets.
This is Hayes Carline for Atlantic Infinity. If you're shopping for a new ride, you've got to check out Atlantic Infinity. Not only do you get a luxury vehicle, you also get the Atlantic Infinity Promise, free with every new car. That's almost $2,500 in added value just for buying smarter. And you don't have to sweat it out on the lot. Shop in their indoor, climate-controlled showroom. It's cool, comfortable, and hassle-free. They're on Atlantic near St. John's Bluff, or browse anytime at AtlanticInfinity.com.
I'm Julie Harrell. I grew up here in Jacksonville and have seen our city grow as well as the number of car crashes. If you need help after a crash, choose a law firm with an actual office here. Lawyers you can meet with face-to-face and who specialize in personal injury. At Harrell & Harrell, we've been here for nearly 40 years, developing relationships with local doctors, law enforcement, helping people just like you. If you've been injured in a crash, call Harrell & Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
Brackish Vodka, the spirit of the sportsman and proud partner of the Jaguars, is thrilled to announce you can get all of their flavors and original vodka at PJ Liquors in St. Augustine. PJ Liquors, since 1999, has been serving up summertime fun. Now enjoy Brackish Vodka, the #1 local vodka in North Florida. Brackish Vodka is the first clean craft vodka, and you can find their 9 flavors at PJ Liquors. Brackish Vodka, for whatever your sport is. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
This is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about being a godly example. Every day, we're setting an example in our words and actions. And many times, we can act one way in one setting and then totally different in another setting. My encouragement for you is to not send out mixed messages. God is depending on you to set the example in people's lives. You don't know, but you may be the only Bible that someone ever sees today.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just the job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal. Pretty nice weather we're having, huh?
You think this is nice?
I mean, it's sunny, warm. We do live in Florida.
It's not all upside, Jason. Warm weather comes, so all the cool people hit the beach. My old air conditioner craps out, so it's 1,000 degrees inside, and I'm stuck on a video call in my underpants trying not to sweat through my...
Wait. Put these sunglasses on.
I'm not going to put on your...
Whoa. The air conditioning experts at Bueller Air & Plumbing can keep your home office cool and comfortable all summer long. You look good in your meeting, impress the big guy with your cool confidence, maybe finally make assistant deputy regional manager.
Wow, air conditioning can do that?
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend all summer worried the weather is going to be too nice, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Maxed out on credit card, struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
Don't miss the Bari Breakdown with Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays around 3:20 for the latest in sports injuries. From all the big names in the game, who's MIA, who's coming back from injury. Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays at 3:20.
Have you been diagnosed with moderate to severe opioid use disorder? You may qualify for a new clinical research study. Dr. Ferdinand Formoso is now enrolling participants to evaluate the effectiveness of a non-opioid medication treatment option for OUD. Qualified participants will receive study-related care at no cost and may be eligible for reimbursement of travel and accommodations. To qualify, applicants must be 18 to 65 years old, have been diagnosed with moderate to severe opioid use disorder, and have not been on medication to treat opioid use in the last 3 months. The study lasts up to 22 weeks, with weekly visits during treatment. If you're ready to explore a new path forward, visit OUDstudy.com for more details and qualifications. Take the first steps and visit OUDstudy.com. That's OUDstudy.com. OUDstudy.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now back to a Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. Big Chief Tire. Visit BigChiefService.com.
Frangie, Carline LaSelva with you. We want to thank our friends from Big Chief. A reminder, once again, next Friday, a week from today, we're going to be live at the brand new Big Chief location in Mandarin. Can't wait to get there. Tires, any kind of automotive service, oil changes, brakes, alignments. They can take care of it for you, good folks. Big Chief Tire. There's a reason they've done it over 60 years on the First Coast, and they continue to do it. Head to Big Chief Tire today for all your automotive needs. I know I do, and I truly do, and so does Hayes, and it'd be a good place for you to stop. All right, speaking of automobiles. So Shedeur Sanders was pulled over going 101. Another time he was going 91 and a 65, was also pulled over. He's been pulled over twice since he's been in Cleveland. The draft was just in April. He failed to appear at an arraignment, and now the team says, no problem, he's going to pay his tickets and all's well. All right. Help me understand this. This isn't a shot at Shedeur Sanders, but we see all the stuff with the Georgia players, and the Georgia football program takes a beating now because of some of that, and they're not the only ones. Why is driving 100 a thing? I know
I think it's always been a thing.
Has it?
Did you know? I did that.
I mean, I've driven 100
as a kid.
Yeah, well, yes, I've driven 100 I've driven 100, but I never made it a thing to like over and over and over and over and over see how fast my car could. No, I didn't do it.
Yeah, well, I didn't do that. Yeah. But I'm saying, like, I probably. I mean, I can count on one hand how many times I've done it, but I definitely have driven my car
faster
90 or faster.
Yeah,
when I was like a teenager.
Yeah, so maybe you just answered my question, but I mean, now with all the scrutiny and all the risk, I mean, I don't know that, and maybe I was never a car guy either. You know, cars were when I was in high school, there are different things people were into. The kids who were into cars weren't really as much into sports, and, you know what I mean? So, but I don't get why.
Yeah, I mean, my first car couldn't have gotten up to 90, so I had to get my second car before I could actually
so maybe
attain that speed.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it's always been a thing, and I'm just out of touch. But I
think it's always been. I mean, go back to, like, remember in like the 1950s, 60s movies, and the two
cars were a thing.
They'd go to
Greece.
where they'd race each other.
They raced down in Greece. Who didn't love Grease?
Yeah. So,
But
I mean, I think
guess
that's
you're right.
always been
Maybe
a
you're
part
right.
of.
But I just, I don't know.
I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, there was more, I think, of maybe innocence might be too gentle of a term, but like, I think we're now much more cognizant of consequences in 2025 than we probably were 60 years ago.
You're probably right.
And so, I understand. I'm not endorsing the behavior.
No, I know you're not.
But I don't think it's.
You're saying don't be surprised by it.
I'm saying I don't think it's specific to this generation.
And I also think that George's was more like they were racing.
Yeah.
It was always like racing. They were racing each other. It was a street racing thing. Like that was the culture. It was a street racing culture at Georgia. This to me is just a young guy with a fast car that's been caught going pretty fast in his fast car a couple times.
I guess maybe you're right. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I just think
I was a little surprised it was a story, but I guess everything is
With
now.
Shador,
Yeah, but I mean, I was a little surprised when I saw
It wasn't an arrest.
Yeah,
It
the
was
tweet
just,
where it was like, well, Shador Sanders got cited for speeding. And I'm like, okay, well, that probably happens. I mean, how many people in a
how
major
many
city
Jags players have
are
gotten
going to
cited in the
get
last
cited
couple
for
months?
speed? I mean, that to me, that's a fairly regular. You don't want it to happen.
And maybe you're right, but maybe driving 84 in a 65 is one thing. Driving 90 something in a 65, driving 101. I don't know. Maybe old guy alert. Okay, maybe that's it. But I just
young people are stupid, Frank.
Yeah. And by the way, I was a young person.
I
and
don't know what to tell you. I was so stupid.
I was stupid.
man.
By the way,
I'm still stupid.
I am so dumb.
Yeah, but to JJ's point, we are still stupid, but it was a different stupid then.
Yeah.
And I was the king of the stupid. I used to say this all the time. The hardest thing college football coaches have to do is manage 18 to 22-year-old males because they're dummies.
And they think they're invincible.
And I know that because I was an 18 to 22-year-old male who was a dummy. So I get that, but with all the attention now and the people that are dying in vehicular homicides and all we're hearing about it, and one thing about social media and the information age is everything that happens in the world is out there. I'm still surprised that a guy like Shador Sanders, about whom so much has been made, about who by now knows he's under a microscope that is different than all the other microscopes in some ways, would drive 101. I guess again, I'm not saying he's a bad kid. I'm just saying this one surprised. You're surprised it was a story. I'm surprised Shador Sanders, after everything, all the scrutiny, all the drops so far in the draft, what's wrong, got to prove himself, is driving around 100 miles an hour twice. I guess that's it.
Yeah, the way I look at it, I think if Mason Graham got 2 speeding tickets in the last month,
would it be on ESPN?
I don't think it's a story.
I agree with you, but let me change that. Even at 101,
I don't think so. I mean, unless he was going 101 in a school zone.
Yeah, no.
But I don't think that's what this is. No. I mean, Shador Sanders obviously shouldn't do this, but I will say, like, sometimes you look at, okay, well, what isn't in the story that might have been? Well, there's obviously no drugs involved. There's no alcohol involved. There's no firearms that were in the car. Like, I mean, so I just think it was a kid driving a little, faster than he should have, and he got pulled over, which happens 1,000 times a day in every city in this country. That's why I just thought it was, to me, it would not have been a story if it wasn't Shador Sanders and this narrative that he's a bad kid.
Yeah, and by the way, that's not my take. My take isn't Shador's a bad guy. And you're right. That perception will exist among many. I thought he was entitled during the draft process. I thought and I hope my hope is that he's a good young person that learned from that. But I'm not even connecting this to that, other than to say, because of all that, he was roundly criticized and roundly watched and under such a microscope that you'd be less likely to do something because of that. And so anyway, and again, we everybody, but I mean,
now it will be really interesting to see, does it happen again? Because now
that everybody knows,
you're going to have every Cleveland reporter checking online every morning to see if anything's happened with Shador Sanders. So now I would say, like, if it happens again, then yes, that would reflect really poorly on Shador Sanders. But I mean, I don't have, he shouldn't do it, but I think on a scale of 1 to 10, this for me would be fairly low on that list.
The other story that's out there is the Anthony Richardson rap video. Here's the thing. I think he's a really nice kid. I know not just Danny, our buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people that know him think he's a really nice kid. And I don't think there's anything in the world wrong with making a video. I think that I have no problem with that. I just fear for him that he's there's been so much scrutiny about him. Same thing. And he's just doing it again. There's nothing wrong with doing a rap video. It's kind of a fun little video. But I feel for him that while he's trying to desperately convince people he belongs in that league, probably not the smartest thing.
I would agree. I mean, again, it just speaks to, it's one thing if it's like just a fun video you're doing with your friends is sort of like a one-off, but if he truly is like trying to launch a rap career, and I mean, that's the last thing you want to hear if you're the Indianapolis Colts, just because you want his full commitment to beat a football. And this is the world that you're in. If you're a franchise quarterback in the NFL, the expectation is that football is 95% of your life, and then the other 5% is your family. And that's pretty much it. Like, that's what you're competing against. And so there isn't room for a rap career and things like that. There just isn't. If you're gonna try and do this on a successful level,
right,
that is too big of a distraction to have in your life. And it has nothing to do with, like, if Jackson Dart came out today with a country song,
right,
and was like, I'm going to really try to establish myself as a country singer, I'd have a huge problem with that.
Yeah,
not only because I hate country music, but beyond that, it would reflect to me like a lack of commitment to where his priorities should be at this stage of his career.
Well, I'll give you a good example. These football player or a baseball player or a basketball player playing golf on their off days is fine. That's a good hobby. But if all of a sudden you find out that baseball player, football player, basketball player guy's trying to qualify for the U.S. Open,
exactly,
that means he's putting too much time into it.
Right now, it's not a hobby.
Right. Yeah. Right
now it's a distraction,
and it's taken too much of your off time when the football should. So anyway, but when I first saw it, I said my first thought wasn't shame on Anthony Richardson. Anthony's a nice kid. Do what you want. My first thought was, oh boy. Didn't you think that?
Without a doubt.
My first thought was, oh boy, he's going to get.
This is the last thing.
He's going to get ripped.
The last thing that Anthony Richardson needed to become a public talking point.
Yeah.
It's the last thing.
And that was my first thought was for what would he go through. So I got thinking about this. Jaden Daniels and maybe Caleb Williams, but Jaden Daniels and possibly Caleb Williams are the next big young thing at quarterback. Okay. So I'm trying to think who would join them. Cam Ward, we'll see. We'll see. There's a side of me. What do you think, JJ? You watch him up close for a year. How good do you think Cam Ward will be as a pro?
I think he's going to be pretty good. I wouldn't say like elite level of the Burrows, Mahomes, and them, but I would say, I mean, you look around the league, there's some crap at quarterback.
Yeah.
So I think he could, in a few years, be right in the middle.
I'm trying to think who, and when I say young
he's
guys,
such a competitor, man. Like, that's why I don't put anything past him.
I agree.
And I've heard nothing but great things from Titans camp, which you probably won't, but like, first in, last out kind of guy. And he was such a leader at Miami, and he worked his ass off. So I don't think, I'm not saying Anthony Richardson isn't that, but I don't think you're going to be seeing him giving up in the middle of drives and stuff like that.
Yeah, and Anthony Richardson isn't as good a passer. That's
not even close.
But when I'm trying to think of, I'm thinking Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar, they're Trevor, they're beyond the age. I'm talking about guys, the young guys. Jaden Daniels looks like he's going to be special.
He's clearly one.
I don't think there's much debate about that. After that, who? C.J. Stroud struggled his second year. Maybe bounces back.
Drake May.
Need to see more.
Yeah. Who's that, JJ?
Drake May.
Well, Drake May, I don't know yet. I don't have. I can't put my finger on that one yet. I'm trying to think. Is there a guy? Is there anybody that gets your attention?
I mean, Bo Nix doesn't play with a flamboyant style.
He was a good rookie though.
But
maybe.
Bo Nix with Sean Payton.
You're right. That's a maybe.
That's one to watch.
That's one that could be in play. But there aren't many, are there? There aren't many of the youth.
I mean, in terms of you're talking about like first, second year in the league.
Yeah, I think so.
We'll see what Penix has.
I'm talking. Oh, you know what? Now, that's one that'll be interesting. I'm talking about guys that are
J.J. McCarthy, we didn't even see any of him.
23, 24 or younger. I'm talking about guys that are under 24 or under. That's what I'm talking about, those guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's Jane Daniels for me, and then a huge chasm to anybody else. But I'd probably go Bo Nix second, then probably Caleb.
I am intrigued by Penix because I think now that it's his team, it's not a terrible team. It's not a great team. It's not a terrible. There's some weapons. A really good running back, decent receiving core. I forgot about him. That one intrigued me. What do you think of Michael Penix? What's your expectation?
I think he'll be okay.
Nothing special.
Yeah, I think above average at best.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see the way the whole thing plays out as we watch these quarterbacks. I just thought to myself, after the grouping of age, and I got Trevor and Herbert in that same grouping. After that, what's Trevor? 25.
Mm-hmm.
Not counting the 25 to 30 guys. I'm talking about the guys, the 21 through 24 guys. And everyone thinks next year will be a very good year in the draft. So maybe next year changes that a bit. I mean, that's all the talk.
I think it will be. When you look at it should be like 5. Pretty much bank on 5 quarterbacks going in the first round next year.
Yeah, because it'll be very interesting for me at least, because we're not that far removed. You're going to blink in about 3 years, and Burrow and Josh Allen and Lamar and of course Mahomes, bro, they're going to be the elder statesmen.
Yeah,
that's how fast it happens. You're gonna blink and they're going to be in their 30s.
Yeah,
and they're going to be the veteran guys.
They already sort of are.
Yeah,
I mean, if you take away maybe Stafford and
obviously Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he'll be gone in a year. Yeah, so like they are, like Mahomes, who's I guess 30 or 29 at this point.
There.
He's like one of the longest tenured quarterbacks in the league, believe it or not.
Like Dak Prescott's now probably on the back 9 of his career.
You would think, yeah.
It doesn't feel like he's been in the league that long, but that's where it is.
That whole group.
A lot of it, too, is how long did you stay in college? Like Joe Burrow stayed in college a long time. Trevor Lawrence was in there for 3 years and out.
Right.
So a lot of that is,
you're right.
What age were you when you got to the league?
Good point. So interesting. We'll follow. All right. It's a Friday edition of the program. We're glad you're with us. Big Chief Tire Friday continues along. We come back. I'm going to talk a little hardball. The beanball wars between the Padres and the Dodgers. JJ, are you following this thing a little bit?
I've seen it.
Yeah. We'll talk about that and more. I got a thought or two about that. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And the winner is?
Boy, this is going to be dynamite.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yes.
And the winner is?
1010XL. Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Hey, John, have you seen the exciting 2025 lineup at Randy Marion Cadillac?
They've got the Lyric, IQ, Optique, and the stunning Vistique. It's a Cadillac lover's dream.
And the best part, over 100 new Cadillacs are in stock and ready for you to drive home today.
Plus, it's the perfect time to trade in your Tesla and experience luxury and performance like never before.
Visit us today at Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville.
Don't miss out on these incredible vehicles. Your new Cadillac awaits.
Tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Plumbing problems? AC not blowing? Septic tank doing whatever septic tanks do? Don't call 3 different companies and play contractor roulette. Just call Duck Duck Rooter. Waddle over to duckduckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I only like to recommend the best, which is why I'm proud to say that I chose Pella Windows and Doors for my own home. And now's a great time to upgrade your home with 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Don't wait. Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or visit their showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows. For quality you can trust and savings you can't miss, that's Pella Windows and Doors.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
It's Mike Dempsey, and now's the time to get your roof hurricane ready with Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jax Beach. Look, our rainy season is no joke, and if your roof's got damage, leaks, or it's just plain worn out, don't wait. Apex is local, dependable, and will show up on time using only premium materials with ironclad warranties. No shortcuts, no stress, just quality work you can trust. Skip the storm season scramble. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jax Beach or visit apexroofingfl.com.
Hi, it's Frangie. You hear my buddies Dan and Jeff talk about that great food at Daly's Dash all the time. Jeff loves that Duval and Dan loves the Boss. And they're right, both are terrific. But I can tell you they have so many excellent options at Daly's Dash. Salads and flatbreads and tacos and quesadillas, you name it. And of course, those fantastic subs and sandwiches. I just had the Italian sub. It is so good. The thing is, Daly's Dash is really committed to their food and committed to making it perfect for you. Everything is fresh, made to order every time. And there's so many Daly's locations in town, no matter where you are, there's one near you. I love to pop in and grab a sub at lunch, or maybe after a round of golf, or maybe even after calling one of those Jags games. There's never a bad time to stop into Daly's Dash and grab that great food. So head there today. Take it from Dan and Jeff, or take it from me. They say it's nicer here. It really is. And the food is delicious. Head to Daly's Dash today.
Life happens every day, and sometimes it gets in the way. That's why 1010XL makes it easy to listen to your favorites. If you missed it, get it on demand.
At 1010XL.com.
Channeled by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Hey, it's Frangie. Look, when it comes to glass needs around the home, there's one name I trust, Lee and Kate's. It's local, family-owned, and they've been part of our community since 1926. They've taken great care of me over the years, and I know they'll do the same for you. Visit leeandkatesglass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
Frank Frangie here for Coil Fencing. Jacksonville's full of memorable sports moments. Remember Tiger Woods' 60-foot putt on the iconic 17th? Gary Coate called it better than most. Better than most. Well, Coil Fencing is better than most. They're better than all. Coil has been that for nearly 100 years. So if you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coil & Sons today. That's at 904-356-4821 or visit coiljax.com. That's COYLE Jax.com.
Need the right tools for the job without the full-time price tag? Tucker Equipment Rentals in Neptune Beach is what you need when you need it. From heavy machinery for commercial projects to weekend projects at the house, we've got you covered. We've been serving Jax for 50 years. Visit Tucker Equipment Rentals in Neptune Beach, just behind Aqua East Surf Shop, or call today. We also have event rentals too. Tucker Equipment Rentals. Tools you need without the price tag of purchasing.
David here with Royal Pest Services. Man, don't let your yard be torn up by that heavy aeration machine this spring. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to learn more about our granular aeration. Broadcast throughout the tree and shrubs to break up that compacted soil. Visit RoyalPestServices.com.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by First Coast YMCA. As the Jacksonville Jaguars get ready for a Jaguars 2025 football season with full capacity of 60,000 plus fans at Everbank Stadium, partners will be hiring more than 1,000 part-time positions at a job fair on Tuesday, June 24th. The event will take place from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Prime Osborne Convention Center. Organizations participating include ASM Global Jacksonville, Safe Management, Delaware North, Citywide, and Fanatics. Available positions include ushers, ticket takers, food service staff, bartenders, servers, cashiers, security, merchandise staff, housekeeping, and parking attendants. Professional dress and a smile and a pen are recommended. It's 91 degrees at 4:59. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Time for all things Jaguars and NFL with Pete Prisco. The Prisco Report, presented by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Showtime.
On The Frangie Show.
All right, tomorrow, the third Saturday of the month. You know what that means. It's the monthly in-store card show at Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles, 9 until 4 at Showtime. You know where it is, on Phillips Highway, right at the end of Shad Road. A great card show, believe me. When they have one of these shows in the store, you got to get over there. Head to Showtime tomorrow. Frangie and Carline with you, JJ LaSelva here. Pete Prisco joins us now. Just another championship for the Prisco family. Were you happy? Did you enjoy it? Did you party, or are you going to the parade?
Might go to the parade. Had a great. It was fantastic. And do they have any Sam Bennett cards over there at Showtime?
Hey,
so the only thing about that is if you buy a Sam Bennett card and it's a Panthers card, he might not be there next year. He's a free agent, so it could be an issue. But yeah, I'll tell you what, it was fantastic. And I told you guys a long time ago they were the best team, and they were easily the best team. I mean, that series could have been over a couple games ago. It was a dominant performance. They're one of the best hockey teams I think that we've seen in a long time.
Where does that joy rank with a big Arizona State win for you?
Well, they haven't had many big ones in a long time. I mean,
but if they did.
Yeah, I mean, Arizona State it's bigger for me, particularly football. I mean, if look, baseball, they've won baseball. I've done that before. But football, if they were to win a football national championship, it would be much more passionate about that. Even had they won that game when I went to see them play Texas, that probably would have been a better experience. But this is right up there. I mean, and you know what's great about it, Frank? It's almost a little bit like if this city and the fact they play in Broward County almost makes it like a Broward County team.
Right.
And it's a little bit like if the way the Jaguars are in Jacksonville, that small town feel to it. And they go, I mean, they're on the Elbow Room. They're all over the bars. They go to the Las Olas. They're down at 11 in Miami. They went down there. They've been drunk for like 3 straight days now. It's unbelievable.
Which is what you're supposed to do. So, well, great win for the Panthers. Let's get to football. The Prisco 100 is out. Big picture before I get into specifics. Were you lauded for that? Were you criticized? People think you got it. I mean, what was the response to this year's 100?
You know, it must have been pretty good because I haven't got as much ripping as I normally get for it.
Right.
You know, and I run that by some guys in the league too to see how they feel about it before I put it out, and I didn't get a lot of pushback, and so I think it was pretty spot on. You know, there were some guys that complained. You know, Zach Allen from the Broncos, who was on it at one point, I took him back off. Him not being on it, I've got complaints about that. Where guys are placed on the list, I got some complaints about that. For the most part, though, I didn't get a lot of pushback this year, which is kind of nice to see.
Brian Thomas Jr., 44, Josh Hines Allen, 76. By the way, and I thought you had them both about the right spot. Any pushback or any thoughts about that from people that read it?
Some people think, Brian Thomas is too high. I don't. I think he's going to be in that, and I said that on our set that day, and they sent it out as a tweet with me saying it, that he's going to be in the Chase Jefferson class by the end of next year. So I really believe that. And so, no, I did get pushback on that a little bit from some people who think it's too fast. Other than that, no, Hines Allen, I think, he's spotted in there about where he is. And in large part because they made him get to 285 last year, but that's a whole other issue. I think he'll be higher on the list next year because he looked great. When I saw him and talked to him, he looked fantastic.
It really shows just how many talented players are in the NFL. When you see a top 100 and you see like who's in the back, part of the list, and you're like, wow, these great players. I'm curious, did Trayvon Walker get any consideration from you? Is he close, or is he still got a ways to go to crack a list like this, in your opinion?
He's close. He's real. I mean, look, Trevor Lawrence didn't make it either. And, I think they're both going to be in consideration next year. That's how I feel about the both of them. But you're right. It's hard to, that's where anybody, I get all these criticisms from fans. I did get some of it. Do it yourself. It's tough to do. And I keep moving guys around and moving guys up and go back and watch some more and say he should be higher. And what am I, and here's the problem with doing the list. There aren't that many superstars in the league. The true have to be in the top 15 of the list. But there's a lot of guys from 15 to 65 that you could interchange and move around, and you'd be okay with it. So there's a large middle class of stars. There aren't the uber superstars at the top, and that makes it a little tougher to do.
I got to tell you, and to Hayes' point a minute ago, this shows you how many good players are in the league. We see who in the last group. Jalen Ramsey was 99 on your list. Travis Kelce, I know he's older, was 96 on your list. Devontae Adams was 91. Those guys were in the 90s, and I don't know that I disagree with it, but boy, Pete, it really shows you how many great players, and those guys are a little older, I get that, but how many great players are in the league, right?
It's incredible. I mean, and you go through and you're like, God, I should put him on there, and then you put him on and you take him off, and I mean, think about it. I mean, the quarterback position is tough to do. It's tough to put those guys into any order, but then figure out which ones deserve to be on the list. And again, I'm bullish on Trevor Lawrence, more so than maybe most people in the national media. And I didn't have him on the list. I didn't have him in the honorable mention. But I think he's going to be on that list next year. I really do. And he was on it last year. And I just think everything that's played out, different offense, the fact he's changed his mechanics and his motion is better and everything else, I think he's going to have a good year. And I thought he was going to have a great year last year, and it just didn't materialize.
Did anything surprise you doing this exercise in terms of just where the league is in terms of strengths and talent in areas, positions that are weak in talent?
Well, I don't know if position-wise, but I think when you do something like this, you realize, okay, the Eagles went to the Super Bowl last year, and there's a reason. They had 10 guys on the list. The top, when you look at it, the Barkley's in the top, and the top two offensive linemen on my list are both Eagles. The two tackles, Mailata and Johnson. The left guard's on the list. Jalen Carter's high on the list. And you look back and you go, okay, now we know why they, and Jalen Hurts came in at 52, and I've gotten a lot of pushback on that one. But that's the one that dates back to something I did earlier in the year when the Eagle fans went nuts. But I think when you look at it, I think you can see why teams are good, and you can see why teams aren't good. I mean, the amazing thing about it, and this is one that really amazed me, the Buffalo Bills don't have a lot of guys on the list. And they have Josh Allen, and then there's a severe drop down all the way down down to the left tackle at 97, and then Benford at 100, the corner. And you look around and you go, oh my gosh, he carries that team. He's the guy. Because they don't have a ton of top-line talented players. They just find a way to get it done, and he's a big reason why.
Pete, you have two running backs in your first 31 players. That's not very many. Saquon Barkley very high at 3, Derrick Henry at 14. Is that a commentary that there's not as many good backs in the league, or is that a commentary that the back isn't as important as it once was?
No, I mean, look, no, it's not as. This isn't based on importance, because if it was, I wouldn't put those guys even as high as they are.
Right.
I think it's based on the fact that you look at the running McCaffrey. I had a tough time grading him because he hasn't been around.
Right.
And I think that's a tough one for me. And he had been when he's healthy, he's truly healthy. He's a top 10 guy. He's been in the top 10, but coming off the Achilles and the knee and everything else, where do you put him? So I think, and there's a drop down in back. I think after you get the top two, and, there's the question about Henry, too. Yes, he works out like crazy, and he's in great shape, and he doesn't eat anything bad. But he's also 31 and has a lot of carries on his body. I don't care what you do. It's hard to, defend off Father Time. So when does he stop losing a little bit? So, yeah, Frank, to answer your question, I think Barkley and Henry are above everybody else. And then, McCaffrey would be up there, but he hasn't played to his ability and been on the field.
I'll be fascinated to see where Travis Hunter checks in next year, if he does. But if he's able to have 1,100 yards receiving, 7 touchdowns, and be at least a factor defensively, where it's always hard with stats to say, oh, he's 6 interceptions. But let's say he establishes himself as a really high-level number 2 corner for any team. Where do you think with that uniqueness he would fall on this kind of a list?
Well, I think he's going to play more corner than we think. And if he does, he has unreal corner skills. and his receiving numbers will help him over the top of putting him on the list. But I think, in the 60s, 70s, maybe, if he does all that stuff, because I think he can be dynamic at both positions. And it's just a matter of how many snaps he's going to get at either of them. So, and he's just learning. That's one thing when you watch him on the practice field. They haven't taught him how to run routes the right way yet, and yet he still knows how to get open and catch the football. I mean, once he learns the proper way to run routes, and Edgar Bennett coaches him up and gets him into that. Edgar Bennett worked with Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams is the best route runner, one of the best route runners this league has ever seen. If Edgar can get him to do the things the right way with that natural ability, look out. I think he's on the list. He won't be ahead of Brian Thomas Jr. next year, but he's going to be on the list.
Pete, it's interesting. You and we talked about this last time you were on, and I didn't expound on it or ask you to, but I will now. You think the conventional thinking is that Travis Hunter's receiver first, will play more receiver, but will play cornerback when they need him. You don't think so. You think cornerback might almost be more prominent. Why?
Well, I think they have a greater. I mean, and people say, well, they have a greater. I think they have a greater need there, okay. and so I think that will help him push him in that direction. He spent most of this year, most of the offseason, learning the offense because it's hard to learn an offense. It's not as complicated to learn a defense, and so I think that's where we've kind of got. And I'm as guilty as you, Frank. I'm the same way. I thought he was going to be mostly a receiver and spot in as a corner, but I don't think it's going to quite be that way. I really don't. Now, I could be wrong. They could change their outlook and change things, but I think the idea was learn the offense, get it down, learn the intricacies of it, so you know where you're going, know what you do, and then you can spend your time learning the defense because it's a lot easier to play the defense. We know that. That's just the way it is in the NFL. Sure, there's coverages, and you got to change things up, and there's complex coverages and trap coverage, and everything. But it's not as complicated as learning an offense and getting comfortable in it with the quarterback. So I think he's going to end up playing more defense than we think.
Do you think the Chiefs, Rashee Rice, Josh Simmons, looks like they're going to be healthy for training camp? Could this be a little bit of a revenge tour this year for Kansas City after getting embarrassed in the Super Bowl?
Absolutely. And it's funny because that was one thing I got a little pushback from my guys when I went on with them on camera and stuff, is that putting Mahomes at number one. And, yeah, his numbers aren't the same as they've been, and they're not gaudy numbers. But and this is the way I countered. Throw the whole league into a pool and give every GM a pick at number one, who they take it. They're taking Mahomes.
Absolutely.
He's the best player. So, yes, but to answer your question, I think the Chiefs have had a great offseason. They really have. And getting Rice back helps them in the middle of the field. But if Simmons, and I told you guys that before the draft, I said he was the best lineman in this draft. I don't think there's any question about it. And if he's healthy, he's their starting left tackle, and it really solidifies what they do on that offensive line. So to answer your question, yes, they're going to be even better.
Yeah, they're going to be ticked off, too, so we'll see what winds up happening. Pete Prisco from CBS Sports, brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Go to that parade. Go enjoy yourself at the parade, but you got to go.
Well, I know that I won't be on next Friday, by the way, because and the following Friday, or next Friday I will be, but the following Friday after that I won't be because I'm on my way to Aruba, Friday.
I know you are. You're the mayor of Aruba. Of course you are. Pete Prisco checking in. Great work as always. Pete, thanks, buddy. We appreciate it.
All right, guys. Take care.
Pete Prisco checking in from CBS Sports. One more time, brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. It's the third Saturday of the month. That means that monthly in-store card show is going to be rocking. You got to go over there. If you're a card collector, how in the world do you not stop by? It's at Phillips Highway tomorrow. It goes from 9 until 4 right at the end of Shad Road. We'll take a break. Hayes has headlines after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Catch the draft and accelerate to the checkered flag.
Who's going to win at Pocono?
This Sunday at Pocono Raceway, powered by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234 and 1010XL.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Frangie. If you have a sweet tooth like me, the sweetest desserts in town come from Spoonful Bakery. Spoonful is an online bakery. They deliver boxes of assorted desserts right to your home or office. They're so good, and they make for great gifts for friends or clients. And if you want custom orders, wedding cakes or birthday cakes, or catered desserts for an event, they are the best. Log on to spoonful-bakery.com or call them at 904-515-4984. That's Spoonful Bakery for the sweetest desserts in town.
I'm Holt Harrell with Harrell & Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision. So how do you decide? With so many messages on air, I know it can all sound the same. At Harrell & Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. When you've been injured in an accident, you need help from someone you know, someone you can trust. Harrell & Harrell, a name you know, a name you trust. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Offices, Jacksonville.
Big Chief Tire is always looking for ways to better serve the Jacksonville community we call home. Frangie here. Starting Monday, June 16th, they're opening their 6th shop location in Mandarin, providing more Jacksonville residents with a locally owned auto repair business they can trust. Visit the new shop on San Jose Boulevard today for all your vehicle needs, including brake repair, new tires, and more. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule an appointment today.
It's a battle for the playoffs as your Sharks take on the first place Steamwheelers. Catch all the action this Saturday, June 21st at 7. Discover the thrill of indoor football. It's fast-paced, action-packed, and full of family fun. Try the new 4-packs, 4 tickets, 4 food vouchers, and a $20 Al's Pizza gift card for only $100. Get tickets at jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700.
Prosser here. Come cheer on the Sharks as they circle a playoff bid. It's Star Wars night presented by HCA Florida Healthcare. Dress up in your favorite costume. Get photos with your favorite Star Wars characters before the game. The first 1,000 kids get a free lightsaber. Join us on the field after the game for a free autograph session and special jersey auction. Tickets start at just $15. Call 904-621-0700. That's 904-621-0700. Sharks football, where memories are made. Go Sharks! Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Baloo here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Hello. The Checkmate Coatings phone line has you covered from the floor up. From tough sports topics to strong surfaces, Checkmate Coatings is your floor's missing piece and your connection to the sports world on 1010XL.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold's recently hit an all-time high at over $3,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
Hey, Hicken here, and you know I'm going to talk about skin. Yeah, it's hot outside, folks. The oven is on. Temps are in the 90s, and it's only getting hotter. I love the summer, but my skin doesn't. I do my best with dry fit shirts, big floppy hats, plenty of water. My secret weapon, though, the sunscreen. I use it regularly. Maybe you should as well. Look, I've also been seeing docs at Beaches Dermatology for years, and my skin thanks me for it. I'm telling you, it could save your life. Book your appointment today at beachesdermatology.com.
Pacifico, discovered by accident.
Yeah, the story goes, a group of friends went down to Mexico looking for some legendary waves.
They never found him. But what they did find was something even better. An unforgettable Mexican lager.
Where'd you hear that?
Tell your next great story with a friend and a delicious Pacifico Mexican lager.
Pacifico. Find your own way.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell and Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
You guys deserve some good headlines, and I'm going to aim to give them to you.
I hope you bring it
today.
Okay, it's a Friday. I've been in a good mood all day. Don't bring me down.
Okay, well, I think you'll enjoy these. Okay, so let's get started. Let's start with the NBA Finals. The Pacers destroy the visiting Thunder 108-91 to push the series to a deciding Game 7. Indiana led by 30 heading into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and I said this at the top of the program. We led the show with it. Give them credit, a team that people have doubted the whole time. They're one win from a championship. I get it. The Thunder are the same one win away. But this is a team that, man, JJ, you and I have left them for dead about every time, haven't we?
Like from the first series of the playoffs, really.
Yes, and they're still fighting and scratching and clawing and every cliche you can come up with. And they are mentally tough, man. They are a hard team to extinguish, and credit to the Pacers for sure.
Sunday's Game 7 will be the first such occurrence since 2016 when Cleveland beat Golden State. How high on the list of watch is this for you?
You know, I'm glad you asked that. I didn't realize that until JJ told us that earlier in the program. You know what? It's up there. I listen, I'm not an NBA fan, and I don't care about either team, but I will be. This will be one that when Sunday gets here, I will be excited for Sunday night to get here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I will be when you're excited for the night to get here because you can't wait to watch the game. It's a long time since an NBA game's qualified in that realm for me, or in that regard for me. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. In terms of our Loser Monday bet, it is still ongoing. We have one more game, so this will be the final update. I have 331. Frank, you've got 314. JJ 205.
That's correct.
So when we all reconvene back together in a couple weeks, JJ will kick that off with a trip to Bonos.
And I'll say this, you know, it's
barring a miracle.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's not
the miracle of miracles.
It's not likely that JJ's three guys all go for 40 and our guys scratch. Yeah. But hey,
right.
Stranger things. Well, no, strange things really haven't happened.
No.
This would be
since
pretty
Jesus
historic.
walked on water. I don't think there has.
So when we all get back together, we'll have a trip.
We'll have some fun. Let's get into college football. The Athletic ranked the 25 best football players in the ACC for this coming season. I thought this was really interesting. Clemson has 5 of the top 8. Florida State safety Shaheem Brown is the highest ranked and only Knoll at number 19. Miami has 3 players in the top 10.
That is an amazing stat. Florida State University, where Bobby Bowden patrolled those sidelines, finished in the top 4 14 years in a row.
Owned the
3
ACC.
national championships, 3 Heisman trophies, owned the league like maybe no one's ever owned a league. Has one player, whether they're right or not, it's just a prediction, but that's not the point. Has one player in a top 25 of players in the Atlantic Coast Conference. That is one of the most stunning things I think I've ever heard you read in these. I didn't know. I didn't see that list.
I thought the same thing. I was stunned, and again, it's a Clemson-Miami league. I mean, Clemson, like I said, has 5 of the top 8. Miami has 3 of the top 10, and then it's just basically like every other school maybe has like 1, maybe 2 guys.
Well, that's not surprising.
Clemson, no, but it's the dominance that Clemson particularly
If it was
has.
Clemson, Miami, and Florida State, If you told me they had 13 of the top 25 most years, I wouldn't be surprised. The fact that Florida State has one is the shocking news.
It is.
And he's 19.
I thought the same
he's
thing.
19.
It's stunning to me. Let's get it to golf. The PGA Tour Travelers Championship is going on right now. Big day for Justin Thomas. He shoots a 6 under 64 to move to 9 under. He's done for the day. He is tied for the lead with Scotty Scheffler, who was 1 under today. So not as strong an outing for Scheffler today, but I mean, I'm sure he'll still win this by 9 shots. But a decent day. Of course, playing a little tougher. Tommy Fleetwood is also, unless something.
He just caught him.
He did.
Yeah.
He's at 9 under.
Yeah.
So 3 guys at 9 under.
Fleetwood had 2 eagles and 3 holes today.
Yes. So Fleetwood just finished up his round. He shot a 65. Rory McIlroy is even today through 15 holes and is tied for probably 7th right now. He is 6 under. So Rory's still lurking, but certainly looks like Scotty Scheffler in great position for another win on his resume.
Back to the top of the leaderboard. Scheffler's at 9. He shot 69. JT is at 9. He shot 64 today. 2 numbers you pointed out. The interesting thing is Tommy Fleetwood's tied with them. He shot 65, so those 3 guys are all up there. Fleetwood, I don't think he's won, has he?
He hasn't.
He's
never won on the PGA
He's
Tour.
the guy that's the best player probably that hasn't won, because there's an awful lot of times we talk about him on those leaderboards. So as much as I root for Scheffler, kind of like you do too, Hayes, but I wouldn't mind Fleetwood winning here. I wouldn't mind this being the time that he gets on the board, because he's a really good player.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's got a good history around here at the Players Championship. It's just never, fallen right for him to win it. But he's usually right in that top 10 at these big events. We mentioned yesterday Jordan Spieth withdrew. He shared a tweet today kind of updating his condition. So he had a right scapula tighten up on him, which caused pain in his upper back and neck. It's the first time the 31-year-old Spieth has withdrawn in 297 career starts on tour. So obviously he's been an Ironman and hopefully will be fine. Hard to believe Jordan Spieth is also 31.
By the way, he's the guy. I was thinking about this the other day. Of all the next great ones, when it was JT and Spieth and Dustin Johnson and Al Scheffler and whoever else, Ricky Fowler, whoever was in line, Spieth's the one I thought would hold.
I did
Spieth's
too.
the one I thought would be what Scheffler has become. I thought he was the next really great thing.
Totally agree. I would have thought if you had told me 6 years ago, by the time Jordan Spieth is 31, I'd have said he'll have 8 or 9 majors.
Yeah, me too.
But he's been stuck in neutral now for several years. Let's get to Major League Baseball. Lots to get to in the show. The Braves beat the Mets 7-1 last night to earn a series sweep.
Here they come.
The Mets have lost 6 straight. Atlanta has won 7 of its last 9, but is still 10 games back.
Here they come.
Of the Mets and Phillies in the NL East.
You hear I feel the local. Can you feel that locomotive coming down the tracks, JJ?
Listen, they played phenomenal baseball. I know the Mets are reeling. I was celebrating after the game. Might have sent a picture of a broom to a certain media mogul that works here.
Well
but
done.
listen. If they can put together some hits and score 5 runs, they're going to win most of these games because the rotation is absolutely phenomenal right now. They got the Marlins at the weekend. If they can win 2 out of 3, I mean, listen, get to 500 by the All-Star game, and you can make something happen with the wild card. I mean, the East is not happening. The Phillies are too freaking good. They're not going to catch the Phillies. Wait, why not? They could get the wild card. I mean, let's see what happens.
Hey, I'll say this.
They're playing great baseball.
They are a team that about when we leave them for dead, we've done it 3 or 4 times. You have done it 25 times. They start playing better. 5 games under. We'll see.
Pittsburgh ace Paul Skeens gets a no decision against Detroit after pitching 6 innings and allowing 2 earned runs. His ERA is now a Major League Baseball best 1.85. The Pirates did win 8-4 in 10 innings. Skeens has allowed 21 earned runs in 16 starts and only has 4 wins. 65 pitchers have at least 5 wins this season in Major League Baseball. He leads the Bigs in ERA and is 65th in wins.
If hearing you read those stats, if I didn't know better, I think his team freaking sucks. That's what I would think hearing that. And here, let me tell you what's funny about yesterday's game. All right, let me tell you what's funny. Last night, I watched last night they're talking about how he's not as dominant as his normal dominant self. He allowed 2 runs to maybe the best team in baseball in 6 innings, and they're saying he's not as dominant as himself. By the way, I'll say, joking aside, and I'm biased because he plays for my favorite team. It's ridiculous how good he is. This is Clemens this is Pedro Clemens Maddox stuff. It is. It's and you, JJ, you know this.
I watched him yesterday. Yeah, he looked great. He did walk a few guys.
Yesterday he wasn't. Yesterday, probably I watched every pitch of every start. Probably he had the worst stuff yesterday he's had all year.
He's still dominated.
And he dominated. This is, if you're a baseball guy, you know that when Maddox went out there, I'm talking about all right-handers now. When Maddox went out there, when Clemens went out there, when Pedro went out there, more times than not, you had no chance. You had no chance to score more than a run or 2. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
He's like that, Hayes.
Oh, without a doubt.
He's Clemens, Martinez, and Maddox.
1.85.
1.8 in today's
and
baseball.
We're halfway through the year.
Yeah, it's truly amazing.
And there was also a very controversial call in the inning that he gave up the 2 runs in. Like, there was a double play-ish, like the batter or the base runner ran into the fielder, and then they threw to first. I thought it was going to be a double play. So did he. I've never seen him get that riled up in his career.
Yeah, he
was pissed.
He was pissed. It was a very controversial play because originally they called him out, and then they didn't. But you're right. It's amazing. It's amazing. And listen, here's the reality. As much as I love my beloved Pittsburgh Pirates, I hope he gets his 4 years and then winds up in LA or New York. I hate that I'm saying that, but he deserves that. He is really. I remember when
maybe they'll sell the team between now and then.
Wouldn't that be awesome? I remember when Garrett Cole was there, and they were good when Garrett Cole was there. But once they started getting bad, I thought, I hate losing Garrett Cole. He's one of my favorite players, but he deserves to pitch for a better team, and he went to the Astros and the Yankees after that.
Boy, some explosive drama last night between the Dodgers and Padres. So Fernando Tatis Jr. gets hit. Then Shohei Ohtani gets hit. The Dodgers have now hit Tatis 5 times since 2024, including 3 times in the last 9 days. Ohtani, when he got hit, waved his players off to stay in the dugout. Yeah. The Dodgers lead the NL West and have a 5-game lead over the Padres. This is becoming the most really bitter rivalry maybe in baseball.
Real bitter rivalry. A couple things at play here. First of all, Tatis getting hit, he got hit in the hand. And I can tell you, as a manager of a baseball team or an owner of a baseball team or a fan of a baseball team, the last thing, I'd rather my guy catch one in the ribs. You don't want it in the head, legs, ribs, anywhere, because the hand could mean 2 months. You catch one in the ribs, it's not 2 months. You catch one in the back, it's not 2 months. The head could
You'd rather get hit in the head.
Yeah. The hand could be 2 months. So that's why they were so ticked off. They have to be careful with this stuff. The guys, I'll say this. Plunking a guy has always been part of baseball. If you've ever played it, been around it, you've been involved in those. We all have, I can tell you that. But as hard as guys throw now, I think they need to get that under control because they throw too hard now to hit guys as often as they get hit now. I thought about that. I was forgetting we had Pete today. I teased that I was going to get to that, and I was. Guys throw too hard now to be knocking people down. They really do.
Yeah, it's a good point. We'll see. Do you expect the league office to step in and do anything?
They might have to in this one. They might have to because these were clearly intentional. And
these are your stars.
Yeah, and I'll say
the last thing this sport needs is to start losing star players over this stuff.
And Dave Roberts got ticked off because he said the last thing in the world we were trying to do is hit Tatis. I'm sorry, you've hit him 5 times. You've hit him 3 times this year. Well, what that means, that doesn't mean they're throwing at him. That means his window's inside. The place to get him out is inside. But if your guy can't throw inside without hitting him, you shouldn't throw inside. I don't blame the Padres for being upset about that.
Did you see the managers almost go at it?
Well, Schilt was
the belly bump.
Yeah, Schilt screaming at Roberts. And Roberts is playing dumb and innocent. And Dave Roberts is a great manager. But you know baseball too well, Dave. If you've hit a guy 5 times, you need to expect their guy to. You need to expect Mike Schilt to scream at you. You should have expected that. He knows that.
Without a doubt. Let's get it to college baseball. The College World Series finale gets underway tomorrow. LSU versus Coastal Carolina. Who are you pulling for? Who do you think wins? And where does this rank for you on a watch this weekend?
I'll watch it. I would rank high. I'm pulling for LSU. Because I don't believe Coastal is the underdog everybody says they are. I think they're a really good program, and I'm an SEC guy, so I'm pulling for LSU to win because I want the SEC to win. But I think Coastal's going to win. I think Coastal's got the best team. I think Coastal's going to win the College World Series. It may go 3 games. But I will root for LSU, and I will think Coastal's going to win.
Let's get it to the WNBA. It's time for your Sophie Cunningham fact of the day. Sophie Cunningham is 6'1". That was your Sophie Cunningham fact of the day.
And isn't she ever?
You know, I the level of respect I have for that note. The only thing I don't understand why you didn't lead with it, but I think that is well done. And
Thank you.
What makes me sad is you're on vacation next week because I was looking forward to Monday's Sophie Cunningham stat of the day. Dang it.
Well, yes, we will resume at some point. Sophie Cunningham,
That was tremendous.
what a fantastic player that
Your
she's
favorite
turning
all-time
into,
player, you
by
said.
a mile.
Yeah.
Let's get it to pop culture. An important date in pop culture today. This is the golden anniversary of Jaws being released in theaters back in 1975. The Steven Spielberg fantastic masterpiece focuses on the great white shark terrorizing Amity Island. On a $9 million budget, it made $476 million, becoming the first summer blockbuster in movie history. What can you say about it? The John Williams score that we're hearing now, Robert Shaw's haunting monologue of Quint's experience on the USS Indianapolis.
I can tell
You're
you.
going to need a bigger boat.
Mayor Vaughn.
Yeah.
One of my favorite characters in any movie ever.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the best movies ever made, in my opinion.
No question. One of the best movies ever made. And by the way, we're going to need a bigger boat is as memorable a phrase as in any movie. I can tell you this. I was a junior in high school, and I remember where I was, who my date was, where we sat, and how she clawed my arm in one of those scenes that was scarred for about a month. So, I mean, I remember I was in high school, and I remember going to that movie clearly.
Yeah, it must have been unbelievable. I saw it as a kid and never went back in the ocean again. But it's a fantastic movie.
It is. It really was. I mean, if you look at the acting of Robert Shaw, if you look at the acting of Dreyfuss, everybody crushed it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We will get you out on our musical note of the day. This week, back in 1977, Fleetwood Mac's "Dreams" tops the Billboard 100. Written by Stevie Nicks, Rolling Stone ranked it 9th on greatest songs of all time back in 2021. Fleetwood Mac was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1998.
What a great song, great choice. What a great band.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know a lot of people who Fleetwood Mac is their top band, but aren't they in just about everybody you know's top 5 or whatever? Yeah, what a great band. You had the best comment ever, and I hope it comes to fruition. If anybody ever makes a movie about their lives, we'd watch it over and over.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it really would be.
I'm shocked that no one has ever done that.
You're exactly right. So, and maybe one day, they're all still around for now, so maybe one day will. Great job as always.
Thank you.
We'll be back to wrap the week. We'll be back to wrap the program after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
There will be a Game 7 in the NBA Finals as the Indiana Pacers stayed alive Thursday night, capturing Game 6 at home. It sets up the deciding game on Sunday in Oklahoma City. The Thunder, a 7.5-point favorite, minus 105 against the spread. The Pacers, who have already won a game at Oklahoma City in this series, getting 7.5 minus 115. On the money line, the Pacers are plus 235. The Thunder are minus 290. The over-under is at 215.5. Some of the prop bets, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander plus 105 to go over 35 points in Game 7. Tyrese Halliburton, even money, to have 8 or more assists. Earn cash back on your gaming transactions with the GBank Signature Visa Card at vsin.com/GBank. I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Oh, no. No.
You okay in there?
Toilet's backed up. It won't flush.
Okay, I'll call the pros.
The tank isn't filling. The handle does nothing. Run for your life.
Don't be so dramatic. Duck Duck Rooter will fix it.
For any plumbing issue, call Duck Duck Rooter, your local plumbing professionals, and proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. DuckDuckRooter.com.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-8
862-6769.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
Jacksonville, Florida. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. CordellCordell.com.
It's always truck season at Nimnick Chevrolet. Well, this month, you can save up to 20% off a new Silverado or get financing as low as 2.9%. Now, unlike most dealerships, Nimnick Chevrolet has the largest inventory on the ground, and it's ready for you to explore. With their extensive selection, you're sure to find the perfect truck at Nimnick. Available now, the all-new Silverado EV with payments starting in the mid-200s. Designed to go the distance, the Silverado EV boasts 440 miles of range, more standard range than any competitor. And remember, Nimnick will always give you the top dollar for your trade, and for a limited time, up to an additional $3,000 in trade assistance. That's right, $3,000. So head to Nimnick today. You can shop online 24/7 at nimnickchevy.com or view the dealership right there at Park Street and Cassett Avenue. So who's got more new Silverados at the best prices? Nobody but Nimnick.
Say goodbye to glasses and contacts with customized vision treatments at Bowden & Associates. Hey, Hicken here. Dr. Bowden and his expert team bring you all the latest options like Evo implantable Coliber lenses, refractive lens exchange, or traditional LASIK. Tailored just for you. Imagine waking up to clear vision. No hassle, no fuss. You ready to see the difference? Call now or visit BowdenEye.com for a free screening. Bowden & Associates, keeping the first coast focused.
Frank Frangie here for Bono's Pit Barbecue. Bono's has been serving Jacksonville's best barbecue since 1949. Now, to thank all their loyal customers, Bono's is bringing back their Club 49 card. You can get a $500 gift card for only $350. That's a savings of $150. You can purchase your Club 49 card at any of the Bono's locations around town. And you'll want to get to Bono's soon to get the spring wing deal. You get 6 wings and a side for just $11.99. Head to Bono's, and remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
I'm Max Fink on your Gator station. 1010XL is your pipeline to Gator Nation. Listen to the Gator Report all year round.
Freshened up by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators. 1010XL.
Go, Gator! Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too. From Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Spend an evening with heart. One night, 2 sets. A journey through the hits and timeless classics. June 24th, St. Augustine Amphitheater. Tickets on sale now at AXS.com. Don't miss an evening with Heart live.
If you're tired of weekend projects turning into weekend disasters, you're not alone. Building a fence isn't as easy as it looks. And let's face it, your neighbor still hasn't fixed his lopsided masterpiece. But Superior Fence and Rail makes it easy. Highly trained professionals, top quality materials, and a fence you'll love for years to come. Skip the stress and call the pros today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
If someone you love needs a pick-me-up, then it's time to get serious about it and send them a Kuhn floral arrangement. RJ here with 1010XL, and you'll be assured of a quality delivery. That's for sure. Log on and order online at KuhnFlowers.com.
Mark Watson here to tell you a little bit about HardballCreative.com. It's your online promo haven with thousands of ideas on how to promote your company. We're open 24/7, 365.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
What does it mean when someone says the continental United States?
It's always a good idea to compare homeowners' insurance rates when it's time to renew.
Before storm season, log on to southernoak.com and get an instant quote or find an agent in your area.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The continental United States refers to all United States in North America. Hawaii is in the southern hemisphere.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
Today in the program, we talked about those NBA Finals and how good the Pacers have been and what a hard, tough team they are. What a hard-nosed, tough, mentally tough team they are. Real impressed with them. We talked a lot about that today. We talked about Shedeur Sanders and some young quarterbacks. Anthony Richardson made the program as well. We talked about baseball. Hayes brought it up about the Beanball Wars. Dad and Pete Prisco's in to talk NFL with us. Busy show as well. All right, this is your kind of getaway day, huh?
That's right.
You're off next week.
I'm going to miss you guys. Yep, off next week. So just get recharged a little bit and enjoy the beach, enjoy the pool, and have fun.
I'm going to step away the week after that. Yeah. So after today, our next show together, I think, is July 7th.
That sounds right, because the 4th is on a Friday.
Yeah, so I think July 7th is the next time we'll have the band back together.
Yeah.
And I think we'll probably have barbecue.
That's right.
I think we'll have Bonos.
That'll be nice.
I'm predicting JJ will have to go.
It's going to be crazy that the comeback is going to happen. It's going to have like 5 overtimes in Game 7. And obviously, SGA will be hurt right away.
Yes.
And you'll go scoreless. Yeah. And just the 50 burger that Lou Dort drops is going to be the most shocking thing to ever happen in sports.
Went off. Lou Dort on the cover of
Especially
Sports.
After 3 points in Game 6.
21st three-pointer of the game.
But I realized, and then Loser Monday, we missed the Masters.
Yes.
We also missed we missed something. Oh, the Final Four, because I was gone.
Right.
We didn't do the scores for the Final Four.
But we'll all be back for the British.
The British and the
I think that's July 18th or something.
And then we'll wrap it up until next year. So, but yes, you're exactly right about that. So you can hang out, enjoy the beach.
Yeah,
just
nothing. We don't have any trips. We're staying in town, so just taking it easy and just.
Yep.
Seeing where the week takes me.
Hacker Nation is stuck with us for the next 2 weeks. He's stuck with me next week. He's stuck with you the week after that. But I appreciate it, by the way. But I want to say this, too. The days Hacker sits in with us, he still does his show, too.
Right.
So and if you've listened to Hacker's show, he does a terrific job on it. But you know how hard he works interviews. He has more interviews than anybody, and they're good interviews. Mm-hmm. He's a good interviewer. And so he does a really good job with that. So he works all day on putting that together. Then comes and sits with us 2 knuckleheads, or us 3 knuckleheads, and then the next thing you know, he's got to do his show. So we appreciate Hack filling in. We
absolutely.
Really do. So think about this: when we reconvene, we'll do a show together July 7th that week. Then I'm off to the SEC Media Days next week. Mm-hmm. Come back and it's camp.
I
mean, we think about that. We have literally 1 week of shows together, the 3 of us together, really until camp.
That's right.
You realize that?
Yeah.
I mean, just about, because the next week we're all together, camp, they report that week.
Right. And again, while they're not on the field, it's all anybody's talking about.
Right.
Because you're so close to it. So, I mean, it's basically it's here. I mean, we're in the stretch now.
Yeah, I said this the other day to you, and I'll stand by it. Because the off season had so much activity, firing the coach, and then a while later firing the GM, then hiring the coach, then hiring the EVP, and then hiring the general manager. Those were all spread out. And then the next thing you know, free agency got spread out a little bit because there was a lot of players. Then that happened. Then all the draft talk. Then this gigantic move in the draft that caught everybody off guard, and so much talk after that. And then OTAs and mini camps because you wanted to see this guy. The off season has been so active that it elongated it. It really did. It really wasn't any longer than any other off season, but it felt like it because there was always something going on. Maybe as much as I can ever remember.
It was the wildest off season in, I think, franchise history. And I mean, I will defer to others like you that have covered it since the inception. I've only covered the Jaguars since 2013, but to me, the time that I've been covering the Jaguars, there's not even a remote close second.
Right.
I mean, in terms of the twists and turns, the ups and downs, the devastation to elation, it's been incredible.
Yeah, it really has. It's been a fun offseason. All right, let's say hello to my man, Hacker Nation.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
The only thing that I can think of that would be worse than being stuck with one of us for a week is being stuck with both of us for 2 weeks. Okay, so you got that coming.
I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun. Actually, Heidi and Forrest went to her parents in Maine.
Yeah.
So he gets to see his grandparents for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So I was going to be at the house anyway. So instead of just hanging out at the house, I'm going to come hang out with you guys.
So we got Bachelor.
We got Bachelor.
We got Bachelor. Wait a minute. I already knew the shows were going to be.
I'll
good.
send my wife away.
Now,
we got to plan something.
Now we got something going.
You know, it's interesting as I've gotten older. Bachelor Hacker. You know what Bachelor Hacker is going to do for the next 48 hours this weekend? I'm going to hibernate.
Yeah.
Because I've been on a cruise ship for 2 Saturdays and then in Vegas. I don't think I'm leaving the couch tomorrow or Sunday.
It's funny you said that the same way. When Suzanne used to go out of town, I'd get the boys together. We'd go to the sports bar. We'd play golf. We'd drink into the night. I probably now, instead of falling asleep at 10, I fall asleep at 10:20. Right. That's how we'll party now. That'll be
totally understand.
What's coming up on the program tonight?
Yeah, our AFC West previews conclude. We're going to go out to Denver, the new home of Evan Ingram, talk about the Broncos offseason. Likewise, go out to L.A., talk about the Chargers offseason. And I'm going to talk a little Jaguar football. Obviously, the answer to this question would be Travis Hunter, so I'm going to exclude Travis Hunter from the debate. Outside of Travis Hunter, rookie or new free agent, the most exciting Jaguar player you're looking forward to? I think De'Ami Brown, Bashal Tootin, Jordan Lewis. There's a lot of different options.
There really are, and guys that who get a lot of acclaim from people in the building. I can tell you that. So next week it'll be you and me. We're going to have some fun. We're going to talk about. I'm going to put you on the spot with some fun hacker moments. I'm serious. Where were you when this happened? Where were you when that? Because you and I we're a few years apart in age, 2 or 3, I think. So we certainly have some different perspectives on some of this Gator stuff and Jaguar stuff. We're going to have a lot of fun next week. So
that'll be good, man.
Hacker, thanks, buddy. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Hacker After Dark comes up right now on the program, and then Hacker will join me all next week, and JJ, the three of us will have it for you. And then Hayes, Hacker, and JJ the week after that. So, Hayes, have a great vacation, man.
You too.
Don't go anywhere. Hacker's next. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.